Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tina, and thanks for joining me for this Midnight Garden Workshop. These are pages 5 and 6 of this 6-page over-the-top workshop. We call it Top Shelf. We think it's a little bit of fun, but you can see this has all the things. Look at this clustering that we're going to do here. Okay, and the layout is just beautiful. Once again, reinforcing the techniques and some of the things that we saw in video 1 and 2. I highly encourage you, if you are doing this series, to do them in order. So go back, watch video 1, video 2, and then join me back here for video 3. I think you'll find the process a lot more fun. It'll be a lot more understanding to kind of do them in order because we are doing some of the same techniques and building on them. Okay, this is our layout that we're getting ready to do. I have already taken it out. Here it is. And the other thing I did was I went ahead and I grabbed my die cuts out of, they were in your sleeve, marked layout 3. We make it super easy. And just that tip again that I want to share, you have a full color photo of all the layouts. So make sure if you are not adding your photos now that you put all the layouts together. Keep the cover photos. It lets you know where those little stickers are and things that we're not placing on them because we are leaving room to put our photos on later, and we don't want to put those things on top. I have to do it for the demos, but yeah. All right, we are going to go ahead and start with our die cuts. All right, one of the things I've already done is the inking on this little one right here, and I was going to put this on before I came on, but what I wanted to show you is there is another way to do it, so I thought I would grab it. This one here is this big one, so I'm going to just grab this and put this here. All right, and then these little guys, let me show you what we're making. It's in the boot. It's kind of like right here, comes all the way up and goes under the bird. It's hidden. Now, this has been inked just like I shared in the prior. Okay, so something else you could do to save time if you wanted to, because I do a lot of these things and they just kind of make me faster, is I'm going to just put ink. I'm going to put glue down here at the bottom of all 4 of these. Okay, so I just kind of glue. And then what you can do is you can kind of just say, all right, I think this one goes to this one. And then just touch them with where the glue is. So see, I'm going to turn it because it goes this way, and I'm just going to touch it. The glue will dry. I'm using art glitter glue, and it dries beautifully, so I don't have to worry. And this is just another way where if you have trouble sliding them and making them, line up well, you can kind of do it this way and then set them off to dry. All right, I just wanted to share that. Now, I did save these, even though we've already put these flowers together once, because they are a different color, and I'm going to be doing my inking with my brown gravy sugar plum. Brown gravy sugar plum means that I just found my own mix because I didn't have a re-inker for it. All right, I'm going to do the same kind of inking though, and this is textured paper, so you're going to get the weave on it. Just going to rub it. We're covering up this. It's this flower right here. So I just want some of that ink to kind of come out of where the circle is going to go. Hopefully that is enough. I don't know. I don't love inking on textured paper as much, like for rubbing it and inking it. I mean, obviously smooth paper is my favorite for inking techniques, but that should do nicely. I've already inked and put together my flowers just with that. I did the dauber and just pounce and pounce to give those little blue ones. Those are all done. I've moved my leaves off and these other pieces that we're going to have, the boot pieces and such, but I'm going to go ahead and get these done now. So I'm going to just put the glue right on here, and it's the dark side up. I have very little ink to the outside on that one, but that's okay. There we go. Just enough. Look at that. So look at the difference. Here's one that has a little bit of ink. And here's the one with no ink. And you can really see that even though it's the slightest, whoops, it's the slightest detail, it adds a little something. Adds a little something. All right, this is the one where you're lining it up with that little piece that just sticks out. See it right there? That piece right there? That's where it goes. I'm just going to use that same technique, but you have to lift them off and flip them over because you'll have glue on this. That's the only thing that I don't love about it. But once it dries, you can just keep gluing on top of it. You can just keep gluing and inking on top of it. I do it all the time. I'll use a sheet for a couple weeks. It'll be looking scary. There we go. And we're going to let those dry. Okay. Let's grab some pieces out since we have this. We're going to grab our boot and the white piece. Okay. So we want these two pieces right here. I'm going to slide this on top so I have a little bit more of a working area. What I want to do is I want to get the whole heel with glue. And then I'm going to grab the little brown piece that's right here. Oh, this would be a wonderful time to add a little bit of ink to that at the bottom to kind of make it look like maybe it had a little bit of mud. We should have a moment on that. Oh, I have a Christmas present stuck there. Yes, that's up. That is in a video that's already posted. You guys can check it out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just ink the bottom of this. I'm using a little bit of toffee, kind of give it like it's got a little bit of mud, almost like it's been outside. There we go. Oh, I like that. I didn't want to go light on it. There we go. Okay. I'll slide the boot back. And now we'll just grab that piece and it just goes straight along the bottom. So just line it up. I love that little detail. That's so cute. All right, grab our glue again. Just a nice, fine thing of glue, just like that. And then here is our piece. It's this really thin blue piece. Look for the texture up. I'm not going to ink this piece. It's going to go, there's like a little nub that is sticking out to the right, or to the left. I'm sorry. Let me show you. See that little, it just sticks out the slightest bit right here. That's what you're using to line that up, okay? There we go. Very nice. You can keep going. Now, if you want, when I cut this, I removed the little hole. If you want to put the hole back, you can simply just, I mean, you can make it a rough hole. It's totally up to you. But if you want the hole back, these are my scissors. I'm going through the front and then I'm flipping it over. And now I'm pushing the part that I just did and I'm going through. And there's the hole. It's kind of like just this little oval that's there. You can just kind of shape it out. And then if you pushed it all through the back and you shaped it out, just flip it over and trim the little pieces off that are sticking out. Okay. I didn't do this on the demo, and do as much as you want. You know, make the hole as big as you would like it. And I'm trying to do it on camera, but y'all know I can't see that far in front of my face. It's at that, just at that sweet spot that makes it hard for me to say. Okay. Ooh, so much better when I took the white piece off. There we go. Just trim that out just like that. So this one will have the hole, and my hole isn't as big as the white one underneath. Just, you know, as much or as little as you would like. All right, some glue. All right, and I have 2 points that I want to match up. I definitely want to match up the bottom of my boot, the whole bottom. I want to get that on and make sure that's good. And then this upper corner, I want to make sure that's good. If you get those two, you should be good. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? We're even going to add some more details to this later on. Okay, I'm going to put that on here now, and I'm going to put this aside. I did want to mention I did the blue flower with no inking. I just put it right on top. It is with this really dark blue paper, and I felt like if I was going to add any coloring here at this point, I would be almost going to black. So I opted to just kind of leave that without ink. All right, off to the side. Let's get ready to have some fun. So this kit is going to look interesting because you are going to have two pieces of what I call throwaway paper. So this is throwaway paper. If it's ever patterned on one side and then white on the other, that's throwaway paper. It's just paper that doesn't meet my style, or in this case, I buy pads of this paper just for this purpose because it fills a purpose in my craft room. All right, I want to separate the two pages. So underneath on this side, let's grab all of these and put these over to the side for just a second. I have my other piece of throwaway paper. My other piece of throwaway paper is this leaf paper. And there could be nothing wrong with the paper, but the paper is either not my style, I don't have anything to go with it, and this gives it a chance to actually be something for me. All right, a blue one over here and a blue one over here, and a wine one over here, a wine one over here. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right, the big green piece is going to go to the right. Oh, let me see. Where's my layout? I'm missing a page. I covered it up. There it is. All right. This green mat is over here. The two plaids over here. Are they on the plaid side? I believe so. Yeah. Okay. Plaid side. One green strip. One green strip. For the scallop pieces. So the scallop pieces, there's one that has writing on it. And the one that has writing is going in the orientation of the writing there is going here. This one's going to actually flip this way. No writing goes on the right. One for here and one for here of the florals. All right. Let's hope we divided that beautifully. We're going to take the right and move it aside. I'm just going to move it with its little companion over there. And I'm going to bring in the left side of our layout. Okay, so these pages really have all the things. I'm using this side up. We're going to cover the whole thing though. We have two pieces. This is a perfect example when you have a single sheets of paper. And I really wanted to talk about this a lot because a lot of the papers that I'm gravitating towards now, sometimes they do only have one sheet, and I don't want to be limited, and I don't want to buy two packs to get two pieces of paper. I was with Close to My Heart for so long with the two pieces of paper, and these had two pieces of paper. I just wanted to teach this technique. I was with Close to My Heart for so long, always getting those two pieces of paper. I became very aware when I was done that I just wasn't ready to not have them, and I thought, this is something that hinders my process, so I need to work around it. So I started spending time. We're putting that beautiful burgundy at the top, and I have flipped it around so that that little darkened edge is going to be on the outside at the top. But I started working with a lot of papers and doing all kinds of different techniques, patching papers together, doing uppers and lowers or side by sides. I used to do my photo mats years ago. I would build photo mats in multiple colors. So I had done it before, but now that I've done this and I've practiced it and I've gotten comfortable with it, I really love it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cover the bottom. And then all you want to do is if there's anything sticking out when you're done, you just trim it off. That is our background page. Look at that. It's beautiful. If you want it to do a 2-page layout and you want it to be cohesive all the way through, 6 inches, 6 inches, you grab that second sheet, 6 inches, 6 inches, and look, it's beautiful. Now on this one, we'll be doing the same all the way through. So both tops will be this and both bottoms will be this, unlike when we switch those mats in the others. Okay, let's grab those other pieces. Okay, Our first one is this floral one, and now we're going to start to cut in. So we're going to have that 1/4 inch on each side. That is so that you can see that beautiful seam that's back there, and we don't want to hide it. We're not trying to be sneaky about it. We want to embrace it. I'm just going to line this up to my other one, but basically you want the middle of this piece to be lined up with the middle seam. So just get like as close as you can, basically. I think I might be down just a little bit low. Let's see. I'm down a little low. Let's go. I'm looking. Hold on. Let me line it up. I am, say, 1/4 inch lower. Not that I think you have to be, but that's where I ended up. All right. The scalloped piece with the writing. This adds so much. These papers are just beautiful. Right underneath of it, this would be another area that you could add some ink, but as I mentioned earlier, the only thing I wanted to ink on this were the flowers, and if you chose to do the leaves. I wanted to keep everything else. All right, that 1/2 inch of the green, just bringing the color palette in on this. Truly surprised my runner is still going. I don't know if it's going to make it through this one. We'll see. Okay. Right at the top, and now we've built this beautiful layering of the paper. I love it. We're now going to bring in more and bring it to the top. So we want to take the 2 plaids and put them to the outside, and then that deep rich green that we're bringing in on the embellishments, and put that in the center. You're going to go, let me get you a measurement. This is about 1 1/4 inches over the top of this. 1 1/4 over. All right, and I would say I'm about a 1/2 inch from the side. So about 1 1/4 over and a 1/2 inch from here. Not a heavy 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. I'm going to use this just to kind of say this is where I'm supposed to be. And then I can focus on just the 1/2 inch over here and kind of lining it up. Less measuring. There we go. And then this middle one goes right in the middle. Of the two, just equally spaced. These layouts are so simple, but the pages do not look simple because of the embellishments. The embellishments do everything. Look, all of our base pieces are down. These layouts really are all about the embellishments. Let's grab the little tabs. They were in our die cut. They were with those die cuts. We're going to bring this in. And I just moved my little pink pieces off to the side. And I'm going to find the 3 little tabs that look like this and move those over. Okay, these go over the mats, but they'll be under your photos. You can see here, there they are under my photo right there. All right, so when you place them on, just kind of focus more on the top. They're all lined up to the left. I'm just going to flip them over, texture side up. Will I write on these? I don't know. They're there if I want to write on them. If I don't want to write on them, I won't. I might just go in. Sometimes I put little hearts on them. Let's say about 1/4 inch. You want to go in about 1/4 inch. I'm a little short there. You want to go in about 1/4 inch because your photo is going to be cut to a 3x4, and you want it to go over the photo. You don't want it to be lined up on the side. So by going with 1/4 inch, you'll be in about 1/8 inch further. Okay, number 2 and number 3, all lined to the left. There we go. Very nice. Okay, let's grab those die cuts that we were working on. All right, for this side, let me grab a little bit of washi tape, just doing that same thing that I did before. I really do like to just put a little bit of washi tape on top of it. There we go. So I'll be taking both of these little guys here that we made. Super cute. The big long blue one of the blue flowers. Okay, and I've just moved that over. All right, now what I'm going to do is go to the sticker sheet. All right, I'm going to grab this big one right here. Now I want to put this on foam tape, which means I got to take the sticky off of it. Today has been a good day for me. So one of the reasons why it's been kind of difficult with my video scheduling lately is because we had demolition work done at the house for our concrete in the front and the back of the house. And it was a little overwhelming. And then from that, we had to go to getting our concrete redone, and it looks fabulous. They finished today, but now we have sod work and a driveway, and it's been a lot. But with all of that noise, you know, my craft room is at the very end of my home by my driveway, so it's bad placement. All right, this is going to be on foam tape. So I just feel like a sense of calm, at least I guess until they arrive again. But I would think that the next phase is not going to be as loud. But then it's going to get loud again, but that's okay. Progress. And I'm learning to work the videoing schedule around those things. You have to imagine in the demo, it was like for hours, and then I had a jackhammer for hours, and oh, it was brutal. I have no words, but I am thankful for the progress. And I've had a lot of people asking me if we were going to show pictures because they know we're redoing the inside of our house as well as the outside, and we are taking some pictures so I can scrapbook it. Okay, but I'm not going to become one of those video people. All right, so I have all of this laid out, but we need some more stickers. We need this blue leaf that's right at the top onto the arm. You know how I work it. And we're going to use this flower here, but we're just going to cut that off just like that. And then we want to grab this little flower right over here onto the arm. Okay, and then there's these little flowers here and here. I'm going to grab both of those. Okay. I did save it. All right, we have more. This is where a lot go. We need the hello, the love. All right, we got the hello low. And then look, we have the little hearts. Now I'm going to leave the little hearts on there because they're not on foam tape, and I don't think I'm going to need to finagle those. These I'm going to peel off right now, and all I'm going to do is take off some of that sticky. I only need one of these. I'm going to put one of these over with the other. There we go. Okay, this is the hello, same thing. The leaf, I'm just going to take off a little bit of the sticky because I want to use its natural stick. I need it to be a little bit more forgiving. Okay, this is the love. This little flower here, same thing, and it's gone with this, just losing a little bit of that sticky. These guys are getting foam tape. And notice I'm putting all my stickers up so I can see the white. And then I'm going to pay attention to, oh, sorry, this one goes over here. This is foam tape. This is my foam tape side over here. See how this had foam tape? This would be over here. All right. This one, these are all the ones I'm just going to want to run right through and put foam tape on them. There's a lot less foam tape on this than you would think. Okay, there we go. Now let's grab the foam tape. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is just put 2 small little pieces on these flowers. Okay, there we go. And there we go. All right, and now I'm going to bring my words in, and I have 1/4 of an inch foam tape. If you have 1/8 of an inch, it's probably going to be even a little bit better. Okay, the 1/4 of an inch is like a just fit, and this piece was too long. There we go. So it was just sticking out the side. Nobody needs that. Okay, here we go. But the same thing is going to happen on the other one, or you could cut it in half. Probably what I'll do for that one. Here we go. Okay, that's done. Now I'm bringing in the love. And I'm going to take that first piece, like I said, and I'm just going to cut it in half. That way I can get the L. This is where that 1/8 of an inch will do you. Okay. I have some 1/8 of an inch, but my 1/8 of an inch that I have is not, I'm using up some old 1/8 of an inch, and it is just too thick to go in my scrapbooks like that. Okay, there we go. Great for cards though, great for cards. Okay, I'm ready to assemble this. I'm gonna lift and peel. You know how I'm gonna do it, just the front. Oh, I'm not gonna like that. Let's peel this back a little bit, because this is where I have to tuck 2 flowers. There we go, that'll be fine. Just gonna get rid of this. Okay. All right. Make sure we are good to go. Down, kind of a little, it's not centered. It's a little more to your right. So like if you center and then you do a little hop over, you'll be good. It should be, you know, down in the middle there. Okay. I'm going to grab that flower that I'm going to shove underneath. And it's okay if you're like mine's over a little bit more. That's okay. It's going to give me a little more room to show off these flowers. Everything's going to fit. It's going to be fine because we can just tuck it. Very forgiving. Our other little flower is going to go right to the side of that. Just popped right underneath. There we go. Let's grab the big blue one. I want to take the Hello Love and I want to lay it out. Not put it down, just lay it out. I want to see it there so that what we can do is build around it and make sure that we have the space and that nothing's going to be messed up. This is going to go underneath of this. And then it's going to kind of come out like that. See how it comes out and kind of touches this photo. And that Hello Love was up a little high. I just moved it down a little bit. I'm liking the looks of this. I feel like right there is going to be good for me. I only want to put glue at the bottom here. So I'm just going to lift and put some glue underneath of a couple of these pieces that I have right now. There we go. This one too. I'm going to leave the top one open, easy breezy. Okay, everything's going good. See, we're just building. Now this, I left the leaf up. We're going to shove this under and bring it towards the bottom. Look at that. See how easy it was? We just slid it right under there. That's why just glue down the points that you need. I did notice that when I did mine, I have like a couple of leaves that are overlapping each other. That's okay too, but I know people who cut their leaves off because they don't want them overlapping. This barely sticks out, so we can really chop the bottom off. I might even chop it off more than that. Let's just cut the whole bottom leaf off. We don't need it. It goes way down in the top there. Okay, right here. Just like that. Just having those flowers and being consistent, using the same flowers even though they're cut out of different ones. And in layout 2, when we changed up the flowers, we kept other components the same, like these little blue flowers and those leaves that we saw on the other one. So there's, you know, some nice consistency. Okay, for this one right here, we're going to, you guessed it, stick it under there and just kind of make sure it lands where we want it to, sticking out. So underneath, and it sticks out about right there, I think. I'm going in just a little bit more right there. Okay, so a little press, and since we have everything under there, you can reach under and peel off a couple pieces of your foam tape to secure this guy again. That's kind of why I like to do lots of little pieces on my foam tape. Okay, the Hello Love. I really did like the way this turned out. I like how this entire workshop turned out. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of fun to work with this. I'm going to say I'm 3/8 of an inch from the side. 3/8 of an inch. Let me see. If we measure behind one of the scallops less than an inch, I'm less than an inch up. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look about 3/8 of an inch, and I'm just going to put it down and say I'm happy with that. Let's leave a space in between the two of these. See how I have a space there? We want to make sure that we're really defining them as two different words. Okay, just going to line it up here at the bottom. Looks pretty lined up to me, making sure that I have that little space. Down it goes. And if you have to move a little sticker because you don't have room, never going to notice it. It's going to be fabulous. Okay. Oh, I love it. It looks so pretty. I hope you are seeing the richness of these colors and just how fantastic it is. All right, there's a little heart right here. I know we have those two little flowers. I'm just letting that dry for a second. Our tiny little heart. Once again, that heart was right there. Right here. Okay. Now we have two other hearts right here. There's the family one. That's what I have in my hand. Over the seam of the two papers together. There we go. And then we have the love, and that one's going to come in a little bit more. And this might be where you want to provide a little bit more of a gap. See, because I'm a little lower. So I'm going to bring the green heart that says love down a little lower to fill the space better. Okay. Our two little flowers, I don't think it matters which way you go with these. One is going to come down here and go on top of the leaf, the blue leaf at the bottom. And the other one is going to go on the stem above this flower. Just like that. Isn't that lovely? Look at that. Look what you did. See, it's so easy to bring these pieces together and create the layering and all of that. The overall pieces for the sketch of this are super simple. It's really about the embellishing. And if you like embellishing like this, it's a lot of fun. I happen to love paper piecing. I have for a very long time. Okay, I want to add my bling to this. I'm loving this. Let's grab that antique rose bling that came in your kit. Look at this. We're on our final layout. This has over 100 pieces of bling on it, so you guys will have some extra. It's really lovely. Okay, here we have a large and a medium, and it's kind of just, they're lining up next to each other, okay? Just put them wherever you would like them to go, where they look good to you. Just kind of lined up next to each other, just like that. I can see I have, they're kind of scattered throughout. I have 3 up here, the big 3. So that's a big, a medium, and a small, of course. There's my big, the medium, and then the small. And then we'll work on scattering them. Now, since this is like a scattering, you can kind of put whatever you want. I have a large and a medium over here, and then I have another large and a medium over here. And I have a little bit more room on this side now. Just kind of nice. There we go. Large and a medium right here. Up here, looks like that's a medium. Okay, and then I have another medium I'm grabbing, and I'm putting it kind of almost in between the two. And then a small right here. A large, going back to the large here. And once again, I'm just scattering them. The only reason I'm copying by what I did before is because it's easy and it's next to me. Just scatter them in there and you're fine. Here's another medium right here. And another small right here. And if you want to add more, you know you have it. All right, little press, 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 press. All my things. And we're done. That page is done too. It's really, this is just a lovely workshop. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. Let's grab our final page in this workshop. The first thing we're going to want to do, oh, my paper's thinner. My throwaway paper is thinner. See, what I had for this one is I had the foil. This, you can always see the foil on the other side of it. So I don't like it. But what I do like is I can pick those up for like $5 when the paper is really, they'll have the clearance rack and it's like, oh yeah, no one wanted this. I'm like, I'll take it. So all good things. All right, we're going to build our paper. I'm turning the paper so I have the dark. So pretty, look at that. Everything about this paper is pretty. Just such rich, bold colors. All right, I'm just going to pull it to me so I can see it a little bit better. There we go. And now for the bottom, making sure I get those blue flowers in the right direction. Matching it up at the bottom. You can always just trim it off if it's a little too big. It happens. I have it on this one. Now, I don't go close to my edge. Here's a perfect time for that. See how some of it is sticking out of the bottom? I just flip it over, and because I don't go by my edges, there you go. You can also tape the pieces together and stuff, but I just like to do it this way. It just feels somehow more sturdy to me. Okay, we're going to bring our pieces in. Now, what I want to do is the layout that we just did. Let's move this one off for a second. Let's bring that page back in. All right. For me, this is the easiest way to line things up. I certainly do not want to measure things twice. No, I don't. So what we want to do is we want to get this piece where it needs to go. That's it. The other pieces do not go on the same, so don't put your pieces down. Well, one does, I think. But they don't go on. Let me show you. See, this builds to the bottom. See, this builds the opposite way. So let's just put the one floral piece on, okay? And I know that I have 1/4 of an inch from each side. Let's see how I can just kind of eyeball it and say, that's going to work for me and that's close enough. Okay, we'll go ahead and take it off now. All right, here's the page that we are actually creating. All right, we're going to take the scallop piece now, and our other one went on the bottom and this one goes on the top because this paper placement is upside down. So this is where it's the reversed order or upside down. It's where you take the pieces that run top to bottom and you kind of flip them. Okay, so it's kind of upside down. Some people think upside down is this. That's just the other side. Okay, so this is, it just runs in the other order. So across the top, we're going to have this beautiful piece right here. Just such beautiful, subtle details. And then at the bottom, we'll have our green strip. So there's a consistency in the flow because the middle piece is the same. Let me switch that out. The middle piece is the same. And because the middle piece is the same, it anchors it with kind of like, hey, that looks like a linear layout. Okay, let's go ahead and put this across. Here we go. All right, I love that. Okay, and now we have a double mat. We have a large mat for 2 photos, not a double mat. A double mat is when it's one mat and then another on top of each other. Okay, here we go. This is more like a tufa. Okay, I want to make sure I see everything. So it's about 1/4 of an inch between that we did here. And then this is about 3/4 of an inch. And we want to place it. And I'm going to say, let me get you a little bit measurement from the top. So I'm about 3/4 from this side. And then from the top of a scallop, let's see if I can get a top of a scallop, I'm about 1 inch. Okay. I'm not going to worry about it being exact. Okay. That's good for me right there. All right. Let's grab that fabulous boot. We have a lot of work to do on the boot, but it's going to go quickly. All right. We're going to just focus on placing the boot here like this. And then what I want to do is, you can see there's so many pieces. This boot is really, really full. We're going to build the boot on our page. All right. I know that might seem scary, but it's going to be fine. But we need to get a few things out. Not the bird. Let's leave the bird on. We want this big long flower that's right here. We want this flower that's right over here. Okay, we have lots of these flowers. You can see 1, 2, and 3. Let's grab those. And if you're grabbing a different one, you can grab a different one. This one right here as well, right there above that heart. That too. So now see, we have these 3 flowers. We have this one. I have another one. We'll take this one right here. Okay, there's that one. All right, and now I'm just looking to make sure. We're coming back for some of these circles, but right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. I'm missing one. There it is. 6 flowers. Okay. All right. In order to work with these, I have a couple things that I have to do. All the smaller flowers, and this one is not. Look, this one's barely hanging on in there, and it will be fine because watch what I'm going to do. There you go. Okay, all the little flowers are going to get foam tape. They're so small. I'm not going to hugely worry about, getting all the sticky off. Maybe on the little bigger ones, but I'm just going to put them down real quick. Look at all that powder. I don't mind it so much because I can just brush it off this mat. But another thing you could do is take the powder, and I'm in the center as well. It's picking them up. I just lost one. That's crazy. I just lost one of my flowers. You guys probably see it, but I don't. Okay, it's all right. We're going to move on. If I'm meant to have it, it'll come back. There it is. If not, I won't have it. A little bit off of this. Just a little bit of the sticky off. We don't want it to be completely not sticky. Just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, for the boot is on foam tape. Let's go ahead and put the foam tape on, but do not peel your foam tape. I am doing foam tape that goes about halfway down the boot. Right here. Make sure you can see that. Halfway down the boot, because I'm not going to be peeling any of this foam tape until we're done. So I want to keep this part covered. Now I'm going to go over into the boot area. I'll be peeling all of this to stick down while I'm working on the boot. The boot. There we go. Or you can call it a welly. Or, oh, I have a friend, Linda, from Australia, and they call it, I believe it's called a gum boot. Yeah, I think welly might be my favorite. Okay, here we go. All right, so I have all of these on. Now what I want to do is I'm going to peel the bottom pieces. Not any, the 3 at the top I'm keeping covered. I'll peel them afterwards, or at least the outer 2. Okay, let's get this placed. I still can't believe, oh, there's my flower. Okay, hold on, let me turn that around. I tell people all the time, just keep working. If you're meant to find it, you'll find it. And I think they think I'm telling them that just to be nice and calm them down, but that's what I really do. All right, this is going to come down here. And I want to see it. It needs to overlap the bottom picture. And I'm not too far to the end, but if you want, you can just take off the sticky on the very edge of your foam tape. You can put a little piece of paper there, whatever. But we want to be able to cover that. And then up here, when we talk about placement, it has to touch all the papers. All right. So the important thing is that it touches all the papers, but just barely over on that top ivory scalloped. All right. So you see my placement here? And we're going to go ahead and put it down. The ink on the bottom of this is so much better. That is when we talk about a subtle difference making like something big. That's it. All right. This first one here, I'm just going to stick in and make sure it comes all the way up into that burgundy wine color. There we go. Let's grab our die cuts. as we're building this, and put these off to the side. As we're building this, we want to kind of put from back to front. All right, so I have this one here, and it is back here. All right, it's just back there. Look, a little bit here, a little bit's going to go a long way. I'm putting a bird on top of one of these. This is going to go all the way down so I can pull it back because I didn't seal it. But make sure you don't have flowers sticking out the side of the boot. Like they can come out the side like this and hang over, but they need to not look like they're coming out of the side of the boot. They need to look like they're only coming out of the top. All right, and I'm not going to worry about mine being perfectly matching. This one went, there it is. Pulled it up a little bit more there. I thought I'd like it to shoot over a little bit more for when I put my bird. The big evergreen leaf, this one's going to be next. A little bit of glue there. And this one is going to be this anchor side here. See how I have the leaf that's like coming out the side? I wished I hadn't done that. It was already done when I noticed it. Has to reach all the way up to that burgundy wine color. Okay. Now this one here, the one that when I placed it, I wished I had cut this leaf off. Let's just see before I put glue on it if I can do a better job. I think that is a much better job. That is a much better job. We're going to put it in that way. Let's see. I make mistakes all the time, and the best thing I can hope is that I just don't make them the next time I go to do something. I'm not worried about any of the glue. This glue dries clear, so I'm just literally going to do that. Okay, there we go. We're still putting all these layers in. The blue flower. This one right here, or blue flower. Okay, I'm doing the same thing, just little bits of glue here, there, and everywhere. This one is going to kind of go, you can just kind of shove it. It's just more important where it ends, pretty high at the top, like this. There you go. And I have it tucked behind this leaf, but it's not going to matter because this sticker is going to come and go in front of it. This has a little bit of sticky on it. I'm just going to tuck it right here in the front. There it goes. Look at that. All that beautiful layering. Okay, let's grab our little pink. Oh, I forgot to put my piece way in the back. Forgot this one. We do not want to pick up at this point. Just tear it off. Add a little bit of glue. And shove it in. And shoving it is the technical term. You're just going to drop it kind of behind this sticker if you can get the sticker. If not, just put it where you like it. There it is. See, it's not hard. It should be a little bit lower though. Just a little bit lower. There we go. I want to make sure I see the leaf on this flower. I don't want this flower so low that I don't get to see the little leaf on it because I think the leaf is pretty. All right, there we go. We're just building and building. One more. And we're creating dimension at this point without the foam. The final foam is going to come on these little flowers, and we're going to put those on foam. This one's going to go in and come out the side. Just like that. And I have this one pointed up a little bit more, whereas in this one, it's kind of over my photo. Sometimes you just have to let your pieces lay out and come together. All right. I'm going to grab my foam tape for the little flower. Am I down a flower again? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on, guys. Okay. I'm down a flower. I'm not exactly sure how it happened again, but these things happen. We're going to move on. All right. It's stuck to the back of something. I'm almost sure of it. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab this big one. And I want this big one to kind of come up here to the top and provide a little bit of dimension up there. All right. And I'm going to spread these out better. You'll notice that I had all the one red. Let me show you this a little bit up close. I wished I hadn't done this afterwards. I had put like all the red here and then all the other one here, and I wished I hadn't done that. I wished I had blended them in a little bit better. So I am going to focus on trying to get a little bit better of the blend. So that is another deep red one kind of coming over to the left. Okay, this is that kind of lighter kind of color, and it's going to go, I think I have yeah, I have a smaller one there for a reason. It's going to go right there since I only have 5 at this point. Okay, I definitely want to make sure I get one on the right. That right one is a very important placement. See which one this is. All right, we're going to put this one up here and this one over there. So I'm missing this flower right here, actually. There we go. And that right there. Here we go. It is not a tragedy. We have moved on. Okay, let me just grab a rag and I'm just going to wipe my powder down here to the center. There we go. Nothing wet, just dry. Okay. Oh, it's already looking so good. All right, we have some pieces here I'm going to bring in and just lay right here and then get rid of this. Let's check the other side, make sure we don't see a baby flower anywhere. I'm going to check the comments to see if someone's like, it's right there, Tina. How can you not see it? All right, this piece here is our tab for this side. It's really big. This tab is really big if you want it to stick out more, because I had originally thought about that and then I moved it down low. Go with whatever works best for you. I decided I did not want it sticking past the scallop, but you at least have that if you want it. Okay, we have 3 matted stickers. Make sure you are canvas side up on your pink paper. And we're going to grab the Life in Bloom. And we're just going to center it, pop it down. That's 1. You're looking for your stickers. Share your story and make magic. We're going to grab both of these circle stickers. Okay. Share your story on that middle one, middle-sized one. Okay. And make magic on the smaller one. There we go. Isn't that nice? I'm going to go ahead and reach under and peel some of my foam tape, just the ones on the 2 sides, like I said I probably would. Done. Okay, for these, let's flip them over, and you can do glue or you can do adhesive, whatever works for you. We don't need any foam tape. We're just going to nicely layer these. Our first one is the Life in Bloom, and it's going kind of to the left on the, or kind of to the right on the boot. See, you guys right now are like, wow, she really does have her right and her left. Yes, I have to make the L to get it right still. Okay, share your story. It overlaps it, but just barely, and moves to the left. The Make Magic overlaps it, but moves to the right. And look at this awesome embellishment we get on this boot. Isn't that lovely? We're going to add a little something to it, but we're going to let it sit for a minute. Let's grab the hummingbird that's right here. I have to tell you, I was recently at a friend of mine, and hi Maureen. Okay, and she has a hummingbird that visits her. I ended up getting pictures of it. It is so beautiful. I have to plant the plants at my house now in hopes that I get one. I don't know what the plants are called. If I did, I would share them with you, but it was just lovely sitting outside and having that little guy visit. We were inside when I got the pictures, and it just came back to the same plant again and again. Really beautiful, sweet little bird. Okay, we're going to put this gorgeous hummingbird on here. There you go. I just trimmed that down so I could get better, so I wouldn't have it sticking out, you know, a smaller piece. Okay, here we go. All right. Peel this off and add the hummingbird. The hummingbird coming to visit. The little garden boots. So cute. These layouts would be so good for like a place like Winterthur or Longwood or local gardens, or documenting your own gardening if you are a gardener. Okay, I want the hummingbird to be in contact with that first flower, like it's coming in to really get it. There we go. Beautiful. Let's grab our bling, that beautiful antique rose bling. We're going to be putting quite a bit of bling. We're going to do 2 right down here, a large and a medium. It should sound familiar. Let's do the large and then the medium lined up next to each other, straight. There we go. At the top right here, we're going to do the 3, the trio. Large, the medium. I put that one up in the burgundy, and then the small. Scattering again. We scattered the 1 page. We're going to scatter this. Don't focus on exactly where they are. Just scatter them. All right. Before I get into my scattering, though, I'm going to do my boot. I did purposefully put the ones on the boot where they were. Large in the upper corner here. A second large one is going to go right here, kind of lined up with that. A medium here on this side. Another medium here, and then finish it off with a little one at the bottom. That way your circles are progressing in size the same way your bling is. Okay, and now let's scatter. I'll tell you what I'm doing. You know, I'm just going to go in super fast with them. All right, a small. And are they in the same places? No, because my flowers are not in the same places, because it's more organic when you do it this way. That's a medium. This is going to be another small. One right here. Looks like a medium, a small, a medium, a small. Looks like I really did mostly medium and small. That's what I thought it was, but I kind of wanted to check it out. Okay. Medium. Small. And I already am putting them in different places. All right. This needs more. Medium up here. I'm going to add another small out the side, even though I didn't have it the first time. Like a little something right there. So let's go with a small right here. Okay. How about we don't forget the center? This is a small. I want to put that right there. I'm going to grab another small and put it right here. There we go. All good things. Just like that, we're done. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this. And you may have an extra flower in yours. If you do, like if I bought one in now, I would put it here. And that's not even where it was the first time. Okay, hold on, guys, just in case. It's not there. All right, I'm sure I'll find it at some point. Okay, let's take a look at the pages. Let's bring in the ones that we just did. Here we go. Isn't this just fantastic? Like I love how these turned out. I love the balance. I love all the paper techniques that we did with the different layering of paper and learning to take different sized papers to create the size we need. You're going to see me doing that a lot coming up. I've actually been waiting to release myself until I taught this workshop. So we had layout 3 with that wonderful, I'm going to call it a gumboot from now on. We can really see the difference in the inking in particular. Here's the flower up here. Let me get the other one. Let's look at the difference in the flowers first on the close-up. See that? I'm sure I'm not covering it. I love the inked one better. And then let's take a look at that boot. We have the boot, and obviously I like the muddy heel. I think that just added so much to that. I hope you guys liked the inking techniques as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring the workshop back in. I think it might be easier for me to, here we go. All right, and then go back, and I highly suggest that you watch the videos in order, as I mentioned before. If you've enjoyed this and you want to keep on crafting along, I am live most Sunday nights at 7 o'clock on the YouTube channel here, as well as on the Creating With You Facebook page. If you're looking for even more creativity and more togetherness with the group, why don't you just go ahead and leave me a message, send me information, friend me on Facebook. We have a private group called Creating With You Exclusively, where we do creative art challenge. We share tips, techniques, and things in there as well. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this Midnight Garden workshop. I sure have enjoyed creating it with you. I want to thank you so much. If you're just popping in or you're finding me by accident here at the end of the video, give a hi there, hello. I'll give one back. Hit that like button and subscribe. Leave me a little wave or little heart. Those are all things that help me here in the creative, crafty community, and I'm blessed to have you all with me. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. Congratulations to all of you for creating this top shelf workshop. I think these pages are stunning, and they're just waiting for your precious memories. Thanks for letting me share a little bit of your crafty journey. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.